Surat. Cosmetic procedures video is our YouTube channel on which you can see various information regarding cosmetic surgeries and procedures. Today we learn about the stopping hair loss after hair transplant. Hair transplant, as you all know, is the final answer to baldness. So many young boys nowadays losing their hair and they undergo hair transplant. The hair loss in males usually follows a pattern of which is called male baldness pattern, and in this they start baldness from this area and then it starts on crown and finally the whole area goes bald. In young boys, when they come to us for hair transplant, in their frontal baldness, they have their own hair on their vertex as well as on crown region. The hair transplant gives very good result, good density, natural looking hair in your baldness patch. But what about your hair on your crown and vertex? So hair transplant will cause a new hair to grow in your bald area, but it does not stop. I repeat, it does not stop your hair loss on your scalp. The natural hair which are having receptors for androgen, they continue their thinning, miniaturization and loss of permanent follicles even after hair transplant. The transplanted hair are genetically resistant for male hormones, and they don't fall with time, but your natural hair can fall. So when young boys comes to us, we advise them that you can recover your baldness with hair transplant, but you have to take medicines that includes some hair supplements and minoxidil for a long time. This will cause a reversal of miniaturization as well as some new growth and increase in anagen of their own hair. So if the anagen hair are growing, so the density of their scalp will remain for a long time. So it is must to take medicines and maintain that original hair even after hair transplant. So many doctors nowadays, they take patients for hair transplant, but they don't advise them the medicines which are important to maintain their own hair. And in year time, what happens is the transplanted hair remains and their own hair are lost, so that they have to undergo second session of hair transplant. Even the result of hair transplant may get reduced if the original supporting hair are lost. So to prevent hair loss after hair transplant, some medications are required always. These supplements are just iron, calcium, zinc or the substance which are required for hair growth, which are not adequate in our routine diet. Minoxidil will cause vasodilatation and increase in their anagen phase. So minoxidil once or twice a day is must. This will prevent your future hair loss and future need of your hair transplant. Even I advise all young boys to discuss this with your doctor. So what happens if I lose my original hair? As the transplanted hair will not go, but your original hair can go. So while doing first hair transplant, always think of the lifeboat or the hair when they are required in future. So best procedure is the procedure which leaves us with some hair in the donor site, so that can be used for density or for coverage of hair loss in future. Nowadays, FUE is getting so much popularity due to absence of a linear scar, and so much in internet marketing about FUE is wrongly marketed as scarless procedure. No procedure is scarless. The FUT scar, a linear scar, is sutured and it heals with primary intention, while the scar of FUE heals by secondary intention. It also leaves a small dot like scars, and it reduces the donor site density permanently. So, if the young boys undergo FUE as a first session, they are not left with the choice of second hair transplant in their 40s or 50s when they lose their own hair. So before considering FUE as primary procedure in young boys, I advise to take consultation of a plastic surgeon, as dermatologists are not doing FUT. They tell patients that it's outdated procedure, but nothing is outdated. The procedure has to be selected by tailoring. So as per patient need, the procedure has to be done. Instead, they offer only FUE. They don't give option of FUT. And these so many young boys comes to us in their 30s and 40s, and they have no donor site left after first FUE. So better to go for FUT in young boys. It will leave a linear scar that is also barely visible during with your hair on, and it leaves normal natural density above the scar and below the scar. So as a second session of hair transplant, you can do other FUT or FUE for second option. So at the end, I want to tell that hair transplant is an final answer for baldness, but it will not stop your original hair loss. These hair are genetically designed to fall out, and they will fall with time, but you can delay it by taking medications. These medications are without any side effects, and you can take them lifelong. We usually don't give finasteride to our young patients, and finasteride or depression of male hormone is only one or a factor in hair loss. Hair loss is not only due to male hormone elevation, and depressing the male hormone will not stop hair loss. So it is one of the reason, but not the only reason. So without finasteride also, with supplements and minoxidil, you can delay or stop your male pattern baldness. The other thing is, in FUE, the larger area is covered to take hair, and if at the time of hair transplant they cross permanent zone, then the hair taken from non-permanent zone, and if they are transplanted in front, they also will fall with time. So always discuss before hair transplant Always think about your future hair loss. Always discuss a doctor and ask them what happens if I lose my original hair, and what is your answer for that. Here, I am not against FUE. FUE has a place in hair transplant, but not at the first place. The procedure has to be selected according to the need of patient, age of patient, area of baldness, and grade of baldness. FUE can be combined with FUT, or the areas like beard, chest, we have to take FUE. FUE as such as a procedure is not bad, but to do it as a first procedure, and that too in young boys, I as a plastic surgeon refrain from that. You have to take advice of a doctor who is well versed in all type of procedures including FUE, FUT, and combination of both this method for great result and to preserve your hair for future hair loss. If you have any query regarding hair transplant or the procedures for hair transplant, you can visit our clinic. You can call us on these numbers. You can send your photographs on WhatsApp of these numbers and we will call you. You can visit our website, that is elegancehairtransplant.in or www.eleganceplasticsurgery.in. You can subscribe our YouTube channel Cosmetic Procedures video for further information regarding various cosmetic surgeries and procedures. Thanks for watching.